Hi, this is Geoffrey here at the Sophia Hills, Sophia Tremolos in Hollywood, California. And we're revisiting the Schecter to help introduce what we call the Global Tuner Pro HD. The HD is pretty interesting. We're going to show you how to install one if you have one of our prior 7 strings and want to do the upgrade. And it does several things. We'll show you later that if you drop a B string, for example, all the way out, you break a string, it's within a couple cents, and we'll show you that in real time. The double stops are amazing. You can bend a note, and the other ones are very solid. It adds a lot of girth and power and sustain to it, and frankly, it just seems very, very solid. So with that in mind, let us do the upgrade in front of you. First thing is to flip over the guitar. I always use the arm here to help me with my work. So if I drop the guitar like this, it pushes this forward, and I can drop all the 3 springs for this. By the way, speaking of three springs, we're going to show you how stable this is without 4 springs. So on this guitar, it has a really nice, generous pocket. Here, I can just spin out the Global Tuner secondary spring holder. And with a little bit of luck, it pops right out. There it is. So I pulled it out, and I'll show you in a minute what we're going to do to do the swap out. So one thing about this setup is normally we have a thick washer or shim and a thin one, and we put them in every model we have, thin and then thick. This adds more tension, or optimizes the tension at the length of the Global Tuner stabilizer pin traveling range. We put the little white washers inside to give you a little bit relief so it can be lighter. In the case of the HD springs, we're only going to use the large one in each case. With the large one in each case, we also give you a special fixed pin that has a longer throw travel, and the reassembly is quite similar. They're a little hard to get on manually, but I'm using the wrench tool for the truss rod, pressing pretty hard to grab the threading. There we go, that's one. So you can see there was a lot of effort to get that in, and it's really quite firm. So if you do this upgrade yourself, be prepared to put a little elbow grease in it, I guess you'd say. The way I do it is give myself a maximum rotation with my body. And I got it this time pretty easy. So here we are. Extra firm, and then we're going to put it right back into the Schecter and set it up for you. So what you're going to actually do within the guitar is slip this back in and reattach the thumb wheel and put it back to the position we had with just the HD springs in place. You don't have to readjust where you had it in the first place. So we're going to set this up right now. So in this situation, I'm going to slop this back down here. There's a really cool trick I discovered here about holding the thumb wheel in place with a little ruler. Make sure it's centered first. And like that, put this in position. And then here, you'll be able to rotate the thumb wheel on it and put some pressure with the ruler till it grabs. I use the tremolo arm to push it forward. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Pretty close. So now we're going to do the tuner and tune it up and give you some tests of what we've been talking about. So the whole thing is a little sharp, so I'm going to flatten it by opening this up a little bit and see how close the guitar comes right back from the original setup. Still a little sharp. Guys are in the way. I can't see. So I'm just kind of trying to see where the tremolo is naturally sitting and flatten it a little bit more. There we go. Coming back in tune from both directions, so it's turned out like a nice transplant. So here you can see if I play a double stop, this G to this C, you can see that the B is B. When I bend this up, it stays at B. And then unbent, it's still B. That's very stable. And again, I'm pretty interested in discovering that even 3 springs seem to work pretty well for it. So the next test we're going to show you is I'm going to just unlock the lock here and detune the B string, just because it's there. And before we do, we're going to make sure it's completely in tune here. So that's pretty good. So here's B. It's pretty sloppy now. And here, look at D. It's still registering on the green side of this tuner. Here's G. That went up a little bit. This is very close. It is kind of green and reddish there, so it's conceivable that's really good. That's a little bit over the place, but you can easily see where it settles here is very close to the original tuning, and you get green lights in a lot of the tones. And that's breaking an entire string. And so it's all quite believable for a broken string on a 7-string having a fulcrum tremolo that's fully floating. Let's tune this baby back up. And everything's back in tune. The C sharp's a little, D flat's still a little sharp actually, so maybe we did a little bit better than expected. But that's really amazing. The other thing that I think that really turned out surprising, I don't have a lot of experience with 7s, but when I changed it, these springs, I felt had a lot more punch and girth and solid in the bottom end. It was like, it was meant for 7 strings to have these heavy springs. I know that's really biased and personal and everything, but it stood out to me and I thought I'd share that with you. This is a pretty interesting guitar. It's a nice 7-string. It's set neck, and you can get them on Reverb or eBay anywhere from $600 or $800 with a traditional double locking tremolo system. It's a pretty nice guitar, but I have to say that for the under $600 that you can put on this for a total of $1,200 or $1,300, and it's a drop-in fit, you end up with a recording stable guitar that plays really good, and you can do just about anything you'd ever want to do on a 7-string and have a relatively nice budget for a used instrument. We really think this really takes pre-existing instruments and makes the most out of them. With the new HD setup that we're talking about, you can break a string and finish a solo with chords you had. We have examples of this in our videos. Or it's great for double stops, and we really think this adds a lot to the tone, this very deep firmness to this tremolo system that works with this size of an instrument and girth. Somehow it's a nice combination, and you end up with a pretty good instrument. So the great thing is here is if you break a string in the middle of a solo, you can finish it out, and it's one of the best things in the world that players who love tremolos have been missing forever. It turned out really good, and we're happy to share that with you. Thank you again.